Yo, 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 good people. Welcome to the HerbMan Show.
Yo, good people. It's your homie HerbMan. And you back upside the head with another hot banger boogie. Hey, look, go tell somebody your homie HerbMan is on. And if you're new to the program, welcome. Go ahead and hit that logo right at the bottom of your screen right there. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so that you never miss what we're bringing to the world, all right? So remember, you guys, as always, it is free to like, share, and subscribe. It is your way of letting HerbMan know you appreciate what we're bringing to the platform. Again, continue to keep boosting out this information, all right? I am your resident herbalist. I'm / holistic healer, all right? And today we're going to be talking about the 4-element healing system, all right? This is what we bring into the table, all right? And so I'm giving you guys our system and how we come about making it work. Okay, now the 4 elements, the fire, earth, air system, man, been out since the beginning of time. We are not reinventing the wheel, but in my opinion, that is an ancient old technology that did not dissipate because of its efficacy, but what I believe in is just a lack of knowledge, all right? And as we continue to move forward, as we continue to learn, we kind of got away from those things that work due to lack of knowledge when we got more knowledge, instead of placing the knowledge that we're getting back into that modality to expand or to make that modality more effective or more accurate than it could ever be. Now, what the modality that I'm talking about is medical astrology. Since the beginning of time, astrology was used as a modality to help when it came to physical ailments, okay? A lot of physicians had to know about astronomy or astrology, so to speak, okay? And this is one of the ways they had to know. Why? Because there were a lot of things in the beginning that we were connecting to the universe. And I tend to believe that when we are out of balance, we're out of balance with the universe in a lot of different areas that are conducive to our lifestyle and our lifestyle choices, and even our parental lifestyle and their lifestyle choices can have some ramifications and some effects on us as children or as adults, okay? So we have to see that it's all about lifestyle. And so the 4-element healing system is a really effective and accurate way to give people lifestyle prescriptions, okay, that will encompass every aspect of life. And so for me, the 4 elements of life are not only fire, earth, air, and water, but they're also the physical realm, the emotional realm, the mental realm, and the spiritual realm. And these 4 elements will also provide those things, okay? So when a person comes into our office, the first thing we want to do is kind of get that person's information, right? We want to know about your birthplace, your date, the time you were born. Same thing that you would give to a natal chart, other than we're pulling out the 4 elements out of that natal chart, okay? And the 4 elements, again, are a broad prospect of things, but what's in that 4-element chart? Glad you asked, okay? So when we do our 4-element healing system here, as you can see, fire, earth, air, and water, okay? Now, whenever you give us that birth date information, your birthplace and time, it will give us a chart like this that will let us know exactly the usages of these particular 4 elements in your life, okay? Now, depending on where they're at will depend on if it's in excess or in lack. All right. Now, this chart not only is talking about the 4 elements, but the 4 elements are attached to things like physical activity. We can tell what you may be doing or not doing physical activity wise based on the 4 elements. There are physical activities that coincide with these 4 elements. We can tell which ones you may or may not be taking part in. All right. Now, also in here is herbs and foods, okay, that are associated with these 4 elements. So again, depending on the excess and lack, we can pull the foods out of there that you may be allergic to, need to stay away from, eating too much of, or need to incorporate in your diet, okay? All of this is in the 4 elements, okay? You also have body, I'm gonna say organs, All right, you got the organs, the body's organs, right? So you're going to have, things like the head, the throat, the lungs. So you got body organs, and you also have body systems. Okay, all of these come in this particular chart right here. Remember, we're only doing this for medical reasons, okay? So when I get just that information from you, I don't have to know what the doctors told you, what the name of the disease. We don't go by that. We don't care nothing about none of that, okay? It's not saying that it's real or it's a fake issue. What we're trying to say is that this information will give us the roadmap to not only how you got to your physical situation, but also a way out of it if there is one, okay? It also will give us one for those who may not even be dealing with anything right now, but just want to figure out what they may be susceptible to. This will allow us to know, okay, what you need to be looking out for so that you can circumvent these issues. Why? Because again, sometimes you could be affected through the parents' lifestyle or the genealogy or the inheritance, okay? And you may be more prone to certain activities or to certain habits. And so when you know this, the sooner you can know this, then you can keep this in homeostasis. So what we have here is what we will see when you give us the information. So let's say this person, this little dotted line here would be our median, right? And this median will kind of let us know where we need to really be at as far as the homeostasis, all right? The homeostasis where we need to be. So everything counts, you guys. So let's say this is just a little bit over the median, right? So you're not too excessive, but a little bit excessive in the fire department. So there may be some lifestyle things that we can incorporate to kind of minimize your activities as far as what you may be doing in your life, okay? If we minimize some of these activities, it'll bring this back down to the median line that it needs to be, okay? And we can do this in a lot of these areas to bring this down. So it just doesn't have to be solely give up food to bring down fire. You need to give up food, or you need to go on a vacation for 30 days and this will get back. Now, if you can combine all of these different elements in it, it will help bring this down. Also, another way we can do it is fire and air. They are opposites, so they complement each other, right? So another way is if you add more air, maybe we can balance out the fire. Things like that will come out of this particular system, you guys. Everything will come out of this system, and it could be all the way from basic to drastic measures that you need to take. It's still all in this system. It's still all in this system, okay? So now with this person, yeah, they're a little bit over the median here. They're a little under in earth. So they're lacking a little bit in earth, but not too much, okay? They are overly excessive in the air department here. And then they are really lacking in the water as far as balancing out. So at this particular point, they are excessive in fire and air, and they are lacking in earth and water. But water being the more critical of the lack, air being the more critical of the excesses, okay? And so right then and there, that lets me know there are certain activities that you can do in the air department, and there's certain herbs and foods, there's certain organs that I could tell you about from the air, and there's certain body systems that are associated with these things, that if we can take care of these, the physical activity and the herbs, it will take care of the organs and the systems that are associated with the air, and the water. And then now you start to get back into homeostasis. And it could be very simple things like, again, urinating and breathing. We're going to give you some stuff that make you flush your kidneys, and we're going to give you some stuff that help you breathe better, right? Get that mucus out of your lungs. Maybe some elecampane, or maybe some juniper berry. I'm just saying, what we're saying is you can pull out of that the herbs now that you need, you guys. All we're trying to do, and the objective to this, is to bring this person back to this dotted line in all four elements. In all four elements of life. And you can do that. It's just about how to prescribe a person what they need to do. And it's going to be a combination of physical activity, herbs and foods, body organs and body systems that you're going to have to do. Now, the body organs and body systems are just a byproduct, right? They are things that come out of this. So when you say body organs and body systems, then what are you talking about? Glad you asked. All right, so let's say water here. Water is a a few different signs. Let me get my signs right here. So water is, going to be stuff like Pisces, right? Maybe Cancer, stuff like that. Okay, those are going to be Pisces and Cancer. Okay, but these are also associated with body organs like your feet. Okay, Cancer is your chest in medical astrology. Okay, now going even further, these also associated with body systems. You see what I'm saying? So now you're talking about your chest. Maybe Cancer is associated with the immune system. All right, Pisces is associated with the lymphatic system. See, so I'm getting body organs and I'm also getting body systems out of this same 4-element chart. It's all in the chart. It's all in the system. Okay, we used to do this back in the day, you guys. I'm trying to tell you, we just ran out of information for certain issues. Now we have all the information needed to go back to this format. Okay, and so what we want to do is take you back to the format that really actually brings you back in contact with nature's healing ability and nature's ability to teach the body and to teach the mind how to really work in harmony. Sometimes another disharmonic entity like human beings cannot really tell you how to get into harmony. How, when we're out of harmony, we're trying to figure it out too. And it doesn't matter our profession. It doesn't matter how professional you think I am. I'm out of balance in certain area in my life. And if I was in balance and if I did get that proper balance, I probably would be world renowned, right? So we're all really out of balance. Now, here's the caveat. Some of us are not looking to be in balance. Some of us are not necessarily fixated on trying to be in balance, right? And so that's why you don't really have a bunch of people really trying to figure this thing out. But when you're talking about people in the earlier days, they have nothing but time to concentrate on the most magnificent thing that they saw walking on planet Earth, and it was the physical body. Okay, it was the physical body. Now we have so much other external things to fixate on that we don't deem to really look at ourselves as being the greatest thing walking and talking on planet Earth. You look at what you can create from this thing as being great. But we need to get back to understanding that this is the greatest built machine ever. And it came from the elements. These 4 elements is what it took to really make the body the way that it did. Even when you're looking at the Bible and you're talking about him having to make you from clay, which already was giving you a little earth and a little water, okay? And then to breathe air into your lungs, and then you became a living being, which is your spirit word, which is that fire that's on the inside. Okay, so even when you're talking about just how God created you from a Christian standpoint, you're talking about these 4 elements. You're talking about these 4 elements. And so this really is the way into your healing. But you have to, again, get yourself back into these elements, because they may require you to get into some hot environments, some dry environments, some cold environments, and some wet environments. And they also may help these conditions within the body. If you're too mucusy, then you're too wet, right? So then we need to dry you out with some herbs, okay? We need to dry you out with some physical activity. We need to dry you out so that these body systems and everything don't get too overly mucus, too overly inflamed, all right? Or too overly susceptible to any immune issues. This is what we're trying to do. And so you can add these components to the body to create the natural response that's needed. Again, you got to look at this like a plant's life, okay? When we're talking about the mighty tree sits out there through winter, summer, spring, and fall, okay? It sits up there and it goes through this necessary changes, but it don't fall over when it's winter time. It stays up, it stays strong, and it stays going for years and hundreds of years. Sometimes we dead and gone, the tree's still there. And the reason why is because it's getting all of the elements, you guys. And with these elements, it builds the immunity, it builds the fortitude, it builds the tree strength. And this is just what we need. So when our world is ever changing, It's not for us to be fearful. It's not for us to go out here and just want to be getting diseases. But my point is that we have to build ourselves up, and we cannot allow the conventional life and the modern life, and we cannot allow some of this sedentary lifestyle to really hamper us from physically being immune to what's going on our planet. Because when the physical body goes, it doesn't matter how smart you are. It doesn't matter how much money you are. You will be dead on arrival. Okay. So a lot of times, some of the teachings that are going on out here are promoting for us to exercise our mind and to leave our bodies behind if we possibly can and get to this other area over here. No. Because here's the thing. When your mind goes over here and you leave this susceptible to where it's at, it will deteriorate. And that's why you find that a lot of the yogis and a lot of the masters of the Ayurvedic community and all of that, they're still being susceptible to issues and diseases, just like all of the rest of the healers, because we haven't been able to put it together. A lot of people just want to do you for herbs, but it will still bring a limited functionality of healing. Herbs will do the same thing as pills. It will heal you temporarily unless you change your lifestyle. Physical activity would do the same thing. It only has a limited time span. It is a temporary fix to a problem. If you decide not to do any more physical activity, you are going to have some more issues. Okay. So what you have to do is combine it all together. It's combined all together. If you're just sitting there going to the gym every day, all day long, it doesn't mean that you're going to circumvent issues. You still may have a heart attack. If you're eating vegan meals all day, you don't want no meat, that's fine, but you're still tipping the scales and you're not really being in a moderate or a balanced level here, and you're going to tip over at some point. If you eat meat, it's the same way. You're going to tip the scales. That you have to incorporate all modalities of moderacy. And instead of trying to go and get all of them and do it all, I've done the work for you. I went and searched and delved and see why we tried to heal, live as long, why man has been fixated with the body and everything, and wrote so many different parables and stories and all this type of stuff, trying to understand man's whole understanding of why we're here. And that's really man's whole thing. We've been asking the question of why we're here, and we've been looking to this body as for answers to who we come from. And what I'm saying is, at best, just understand that even if you don't want to call it God, the creator of the universe, just understand it's nature. It's nature. Nature brought us here under these particular 4 laws, is which we were created. And at some point, as we begin to advance, we begin to start to now tip the scales in a lot of these different areas of life. So we don't get enough fire in our souls. And if we do, we get the wrong fire that makes it excessive, because we're being emotionally drawn into fire instead of the natural way to get fire. Right? It's not to be angry when you're getting your fire. It's not to be overly passionate, overly stimulated, right? That's not that shouldn't be all what fire is. But that's our way of understanding what fire is, okay? But fire can really be a really useful tool when it's handled in its moderate level. Too much of fire will burn something out. Too less of fire is really of no use, right? And so if you have a fire and a water person, right? Let's say you got a fire and a water person, what's going to happen? There's only 2 things that can happen. Either fire is going to boil the water, which is agitate the water, or either water is going to put out the fire. So in these 2 instances, neither one of these 2 things would be good for each other. Because you don't give a lot of room to complement and support each other in their natural needs of what who they really are. Water is wet. You know, it doesn't really need to be boiled unless it wants to be, right? Because it holds that temperature. So now you got your water girl over here hot all the time because you got to be passionate. You got to be overly stimulated. You got to be highly, everything. And so now you're just boiling her water. She's mad every time you come in the house like that. And what she does, she put your fire out. with her comments, with her attitude, with her emotions, and you want somebody to hooray you and good job, baby, and everything like that, and that water lady come in there and be like, man, I ain't studying that, what you talking about, and it just, you're not compatible in that area. So when you're looking at that, you also got to understand it also from a healing standpoint, that we could allow that knowledge, that same information, to now benefit us in a lot of ways. People use this a lot, but for money, for characteristics of personalities, asking about people, asking about love life, all this type of stuff. But we need to now bring all of the new modern understanding of more herbs that we've got, more understanding of exercise, and more understanding of our body organs and our body systems, and being able to now understand what's really there. Before, when they was using this all they knew, this all they had, but they really didn't understand the body, which is why they left the sign up there saying know thyself, because that was really the missing link. We had all of this stuff, but we don't know what you call it, a brain. We don't know what the word is, right? We just see that as something in your head, or we see that as something in your stomach. And so we had a limited information on the body. We had a lot of information on the modality, right? So now we can go back to this effective, accurate modality when we place the correct information back in it now. So now when you place the body and all of that knowledge and that wisdom back into this chart, this thing becomes more effective and more accurate than probably anything else out there. Okay, and this is what we use to get you there. And what I mean by use that, I mean that my detoxes, or our detoxes here at HerbMan Inc. have the 4 element herbs in every detox. They got the 4 elements. We're going to have the 4 element tonics. You're going to have the fire tonic, the water tonic, the earth tonic, and the air tonic. Okay, we're also going to have our zodiac products. Okay, so you're going to have the Aries product, the Taurus product. We're going to have all these different things to really home in on you guys understanding that 4 elemental healing system. Okay, and our detox is right now on our website. It's called the 4 Eliminator. All right, 4 Eliminator. Okay, and we're really trying to show you guys what all this information was about, what all the studying has really brought me to. It took me a long time to kind of curb. I started with a medical astrology, and because that was what you start with, that's what they started with, and then you get into studying the whole history of medicine from there, and then it just carves you right back on over to here, because this brought me back here, because once I got to a point of understanding everybody's modality, it all came from the 4 element healing system. It all came from the 4 element healing system. So we might as well go back to this, okay? And this is the way we're going to be able to move forward, not only preventing diseases, but also living as long as humanly possible up under this acknowledgement, man. So I love you guys, man. If you got any questions, any concerns, holla at your boy, leave comments down below, and tell me what you think about the system. If you've ever heard of it, if you've ever dealt with it before, let me know, okay? But again, we're building all of our products off of this system. We're taking all of our people through this system. No matter what you got, we're going to come out with a lifestyle prescription that's going to make you better, or at least allow you to have a better a life moving forward. All right, and so just understand that, man. We're still in the wheel. We're still doing the research, and we're still making sure that everything that we provide you guys is truth and is also effective. And because that's the number one thing, does this stuff works? And I'm telling you from my experience, the stuff works. And it's very simple, and sometimes it's going to be so simple that it's going to blow people's mind. But when it comes to effectiveness and accuracy, the 2 things that you really should be worried about, that's where this comes in at. That's where this 4 element healing system is really going to come in at, man. And I'm proud to also announce, man, that we got a storefront that's coming up, man. A little small, quaint space that we can really get to know our community over here in Rockdale County. If you're in the Atlanta, Georgia area, you look up HerbMan Inc., man. Come holler at me. If you got any questions, any concerns, if you need to look at any, look up any herbs, if you need any information on diseases, body organs, organs, body systems, man. We just want to be a educational hub for the community of Rockdale and the Atlanta metro community and the state of Georgia, if at all possible. And for all of you guys that are not in Georgia, keep tuning in to the HerbMan Show, man. We're going to keep on dropping this knowledge so that it gets out to everybody, that there are very simple and effective ways for us to heal ourselves, man. I love you guys. There's absolutely nothing you can do about it. So go tell somebody your homie HerbMan was on. And until next time, love HerbMan.
Yo, 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 good people. Welcome to the HerbMan Show.